Hey guys, welcome back to Geek Space, where today I'm going to be showing you guys my concept for a Five Nights at Freddy's X Dead by Daylight sequel chapter, filled with as many references and callbacks as possible. This concept is also taking a lot of inspiration from modern Five Nights at Freddy's, with a killer, 2 survivors, lots of cosmetics, and even a map. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So, I believe that the new killer would be... The Mimic would move at 4.6 meters a second, and would have a terror radius of 32 meters. The Mimic's power would also be called Shapeshifter's Wrath. When playing as the Mimic, 15 lifeless mascot suits will spawn slumped over around the map. Each costume are either variants of the elephant, the lion, the penguin, or the mushroom. The Mimic can climb inside of any one of these mascot suits at any time. However, climbing in or out of a mascot suit requires a 3-second animation cooldown. Additionally, by holding down Control on the keyboard, the Mimic can sit down inside the suit, which makes him look identical to all other mascot suits around the map. Whilst inside the mascot suit, the Mimic gains the undetectable status effect permanently until he exits the suit. However, when inside the suit, the Mimic only moves at 4 meters a second and has obscured vision, due to having to peer through the eye holes in the suit. Additionally, at the start of the trial, Jackie's box will be located at a random location on the map. The box's aura will always be visible to both survivors and killers at all times. The box will slowly unwind throughout the match, so survivors have to go up to the box and periodically wind it back up. Failure to complete this task will result in Jackie popping out. When this happens, the Mimic can enter the Jackie suit for 60 seconds. Whilst in this form, the Mimic moves at 4.2 meters a second, but can swing and grapple around the map, similar to Kaneki. Once the 60 seconds is up, Jackie goes back inside the box, and the cycle repeats. When creating this power, I wanted to lean into how the Mimic is more of a stealthy hunter, waiting inside the mascot suit until the time is right. This is shown off by making the Mimic undetectable whilst inside the mascot suit. As you could probably tell as well, the Mimic that I'm basing this off of is the one from Secret of the Mimic. Now, let's move on to the Mimic's 3 new perks. So, the Mimic's first perk is called Edwin's Creation, and this makes it so whenever a survivor completes a great skill check, you see their aura for 1, 2, or 3 seconds. Additionally, performing the same action as the last survivor you chased, for example vaulting a window or breaking a pallet, grants you a 2% haste effect for 6 seconds. This perk leans into the Mimic's ability to copy others' actions that it sees. The second perk is called Time to Play, and this one makes it so after being stunned by either a pallet or a flashlight, you gain endurance for 1, 2, or 3 seconds. However, this perk has a 40-second cooldown. This perk references how the Mimic seems to be somewhat invincible, and his final perk is called New Objective, Kill. And this perk only activates once the exit gates are powered. If a survivor has been hooked at least once during the trial, their aura is revealed to you for 3 seconds every time they go within 10 meters away from a generator, hook, or exit gate zone. Furthermore, successful basic attacks grant you with 5, 6, or 7% haste for 8 seconds. However, this effect is not granted if the attack results in a down. This perk references the violence that the Mimic witnessed which caused it to become the killing machine we know it as today. Now, let's move on to the Mimic's new add-ons. Starting off with the common add-ons, we have the Fazwatch. The Fazwatch makes it so the Mimic's time to enter or exit a mascot suit is slightly reduced. Additionally, when a survivor successfully winds up Jackie's box, the Mimic's movement speed whilst in a mascot suit is increased by 0.1 meters a second for 15 seconds. The next add-on is called David's Ball. This one makes it so after entering a mascot suit, your movement speed is increased by 2% for 6 seconds. Moving on to the uncommon add-ons, we have the Paper Guillotine. This one makes it so after exiting a mascot suit, your footstep sounds are suppressed for 4 seconds. The next add-on is called Monty's Claws. These make it so after leaving a mascot suit, you gain the ability to break pallets 15% faster for 45 seconds. Then the last uncommon is called Roxy's Eyes. These make it so after exiting a mascot suit, any survivor working on a generator's aura is shown to you for 2 seconds. Now let's move on to the rare add-ons. We have Chica's Voice Box. This makes it so if a survivor is within an 8 meter radius of a mascot suit you're sitting in, then they scream and reveal their location to you for 4 seconds. The second rare is called Vanny's Mask, and Vanny's Mask reveals the auras of all survivors who are actively repairing a generator within 16 meters of a mascot suit. You can see their aura for 4 seconds. The next rare add-on is called Cracked VR Headset. This one makes it so after exiting a mascot suit, you remain undetectable for an additional 6 seconds. The final rare is called Phaser Blaster. This one makes it so when the Mimic hits a survivor after breaking disguise, it triggers a brief localized hindered status effect for all survivors within 6 meters of the hit. The next add-ons are the very rare ones. The first one is called Fazwrench. This one makes it so hitting a survivor after breaking disguise causes their next vault animation to be slowed down for a few seconds. Additionally, it applies the hindered status effect for a short duration, making it harder for them to escape. The next very rare is called Data Diver. This makes it so whilst inside a mascot suit, the mimic can interact with the generator or a locker to temporarily corrupt it. A corrupted generator will be unable to be repaired by a survivor for 8 seconds, and a corrupted locker will lock, preventing survivors from hiding in it for 15 seconds. The mimic can only corrupt one generator or locker at a time, and if the mimic enters a chase, then the effect gets removed. The next one is called Gregory's Sketchbook. This one makes it so when the mimic grapples with a Jackie suit, the auras of all survivors within a 12-meter radius are briefly revealed to you. And the very last rare add-on is called Mexis Machine. This one makes it so whilst inside a mascot suit, movement speed is increased to 4.1 meters a second, and when inside the Jackie suit, movement speed is also increased to 4.3 meters a second, but regular movement speed is decreased to 4.5 meters a second, so you've really got to decide what you value most. And finally, we've reached the iridescent add-ons, the ones that completely change the way we play the mimic. The first iridescent is called Malfunctioning Mr. Helpful, and this one makes it so when Jackie's box is fully unwound and Jackie is released, all survivors' auras are revealed to the mimic for 7 seconds. The mimic's movement speed whilst inside the Jackie suit is also increased to 4.3 meters a second. And the final add-on is called White Tiger Doll, and this one makes it so a random mascot suit around the trial spawns as a white tiger suit, and if the mimic performs a basic attack on a survivor within 2 seconds of exiting the white tiger suit, that survivor suffers from the exposed status effect for 10 seconds. All of these add-ons are, in my opinion, great callbacks to the modern Five Nights at Freddy's games, from Help Wanted through Secret of the Mimic. But with that, we've gone through all of my add-ons. Now, let's move on to the mimic's cosmetic concepts. Starting off, the default is called Manic Machinery, an endoskeleton created to replicate. It was taught a single lesson through a brutal beating, how to mimic pure, unfetterated rage. The only true face it has is the one it wore as it dragged its first victim away. The mimic's default cosmetic pulls directly from its endoskeleton design, present in Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but the mimic would also have voice lines. These would be repeated things that the mimic says during Secret of the Mimic. The second cosmetic is called Rusted Terror. Years spent in forgotten storage, dripping with moisture and neglect, stripped the metal of its false sheen. The endo is now a shell of oxidized iron and frayed wires, a monument to the rage it learned in the dark. This uncommon cosmetic is mostly a recolor, only adding some rust and exposed wires to the endoskeleton. This skin, however, does change the mascot suits to be in their unfinished forms seen in the storage areas of Secret of the Mimic. Jackie is also changed to take the form with the withering and exposed mimic eyes. The next cosmetic is called Master Manipulator. Only the barest essentials of its frame remain. A starved look that reveals the darkness within. The chest cavity yawns open, a hungry waiting hole ready to consume whatever or whoever it is directed to mimic next. This cosmetic is pulled directly from the mimic's appearance in the bowels of the Pizzaplex during Security Breach Ruin. This skin also changes the mascot suits to be the glam rock animatronics as well, and Jackie takes her shattered form. This skin would also come with unique voice lines, these being repeated glitchy versions of what Gregory says during Security Breach and Ruin. The next one is called The Collective. It began as a tangled mess of wires and discarded parts, the amalgamation of several failed systems. Then it found a new form, an impossible knot of twisted metal and shared agony, and stepped out into the world, wearing a familiar, terrifying grin. In this skin, the mimic would take the form of Ennard from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. Additionally, the 4 mascot suits become the 4 main Funtime animatronics, and Jackie becomes Molten Freddy. This cosmetic also comes with unique voice lines, being repeated versions of the things that the Funtime animatronics say during sister location. But the mimic's final skin is another legendary one, and it's called R&D Amalgamation. The mimic's tireless search for the perfect imitation led it to assemble a composite nightmare. It's a terrifying patchwork of discarded parts and salvaged plating, a twisted idol of Fazbear's darkest era, now fully devoted to its own endless fury. This final cosmetic is taken straight from the research and development section of Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. Even the mascot suits are taken from the R&D section, with them becoming the prototype Springlock suits seen in that area as well. And yet again, this skin will come with unique voice lines that sound more like glitchy and distorted versions of the basic ones. So moving on, this concept comes with 2 new survivors, the first one being Mike Schmidt, and Mike comes with 3 new perks. Mike's first perk is called I Will Put You Back Together. This perk makes it so when healing another survivor from their dying state, or to a healthy state, you can press the active ability button to dedicate yourself to them. for 10, 12, or 14 seconds after dedicating. If the survivor you healed is injured or downed by the killer within 16 meters of you, you immediately gain the endurance status effect for 10 seconds, and the killer's aura is revealed to you for 4 seconds. The second perk is called Security Guard. This one makes it so when you are the last survivor remaining in the trial, the noise of your grunts of pain are reduced by 50, 75, or 100%. Additionally, you repair generators 4% faster, and your scratch marks disappear 2 seconds sooner. And Mike's final perk is called Unsolved Memory. After being unhooked, Unsolved Memory activates. While active, every time the killer gets within 5 meters of you, you get a quick flash of information, revealing the auras of nearby generators and exit gates for 3, 4, or 5 seconds. This perk deactivates after you are put into the dying state. Each of these perks are based off of both Mike from the games and movie franchises. But now, let's move on to Mike's cosmetics. Starting off, we have Mike's default, Discount Security. A young man desperate for work takes a late-night job as a security guard at an abandoned family entertainment centre, unaware of the horrific secrets the mascots hold. This outfit is what he wore during his terrifying first few nights at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Mike's default pulls directly from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, with Josh Hutcherson's likeness and voice lines. Mike's second cosmetic is called Casual Wear, a different kind of uniform for a different fight. This was the casual armour he wore while facing down the demons outside the pizzeria, the ones that dealt with custody battles and complicated family histories. It's the look of a man who's already tired before his shift even begins. This uncommon outfit represents Mike's outside of work day-to-day outfit. The next one is called MCM Technician, a technician's uniform from the sinister legacy of Murray's Costume Manor. The mud and grime are less from animatronic fixing, and more from other, more sinister animatronic encounters. A perfect outfit for a dirty job, even if the job's not what you signed up for. In this rare cosmetic, Mike takes on the look of a Murray's Costume Manor technician. The next skin is called the Foxy Bully. The mask was never meant to be scary. It was just a tool for torment. Decades before he faced the real-life animatronics, Mike was the one inflicting the terror, hiding his cruel grin behind the ragged face of the pirate fox. This childish cruelty was his first step on the path to a lifetime of horror. In this very rare cosmetic, Mike changes from his movie design to his form seen in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 in the 8-bit minigames. I think this cosmetic gives a good job at giving a 3D look at the Foxy Bro design we all know and love. The next one is called the Scooped Shell. After a horrific encounter with the Scooper, all that remains is a decaying vessel, animated by pure determination, and something else. Bathed in the sickly purple light of the old animatronic service rooms, this broken form is a terrifying testament to a promise made to a father. In this legendary cosmetic, Mike takes on the form that is seen in the sister location custom-like cutscenes, after being scooped and becoming a vessel for Ennard. Since this is a legendary cosmetic, it comes with unique voice lines from PJ Haywood, who first voiced him in sister location. But Mike's final skin is called the Esteemed Inventor. Before he was a broken man obsessed with loss, Edwin Murray was an esteemed inventor and businessman. This formal suit was worn for meetings with the original partners of Fazbear Entertainment, a proud front for a man whose genius would eventually be corrupted, and whose greatest creation will become a monster. This legendary skin fully changes Mike into Edwin Murray himself, the architect behind so many nightmares. This cosmetic would also come with unique voice lines from the voice actor of Edwin Murray himself. Now moving on, the second survivor is called Vanessa, with no real confirmed last name. Vanessa's first perk is called Security Protocol. This makes it so when the killer destroys a pallet or a breakable wall, their aura is revealed to you for 3, 4, or 5 seconds. Additionally, when you are the only survivor in the killer's terror radius, you gain a 4, 5, or 6% haste stats effect. Vanessa's second perk is called Reluctant Follower. This one makes it so after unhooking a survivor, Reluctant Follower activates. The next time you begin repairing a generator with at least one other survivor, you and your repairing allies gain the haste stats effect of 3, 4, or 5% for 8 seconds. And when the haste effect ends, the entity temporarily blocks all pallets within an 8-meter radius of the generator for 5 seconds for all survivors. And Vanessa's final perk is called Unmasked, and this final perk makes it so when you recover from the dying state, either by a successful wiggle attempt, another survivor's action, or a healing perk, Unmasked activates for 8, 10, or 12 seconds. During this time, you leave no pool of blood and emit no grunts of pain. Additionally, if the killer hits you while this perk is activated, their terror radius is completely suppressed for the next 4 seconds. Just like Mike, I wanted to make sure that all of Vanessa's perks were faithful to her appearances in both the Five Nights at Freddy's movie and in Security Breach. But now, let's move on to Vanessa's cosmetics. The first one being called Pizzaplex Patrol, believing the high walls and cutting-edge tech offered a real protection. Instead, the uniform became a cage, and the job a cruel distraction from the creeping control of the entity's first agents. She guards the Pizzaplex, or is she simply guarded by it? This default cosmetic for Vanessa pulls directly from her appearance in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, with voice lines from Heather Masters. Her second cosmetic is called Neon Night Watch, a security uniform hacked with custom neon wiring, designed to stand out in the dark glamour of the Pizzaplex. Though she intended to use it to blend in with the club-like atmosphere, the outfit's bright magenta and cyan glow now acts as a terrible beacon, distracting the cruelest attention of the entity's servants. In this uncommon outfit, Vanessa is fitted with a retro neon jumpsuit. Vanessa's next cosmetic is called the Princess's Freedom, a fragmented memory made real. This outfit represents the digital avatar Vanessa used to fight her inner demons and break the curse of Glitch Trap. Though she failed to defeat the darkness entirely, the golden garb of the virtual hero now serves as a reminder of the freedom she fought for. In this rare cosmetic, Vanessa takes the form of the princess seen in Princess Quest minigames. Though, unlike those games, this outfit is no longer 8-bit. The next one is called Patrol Officer, a uniformed police officer detailed to investigate the mysterious disappearances of Freddy Fazbear's pizza. This formal uniform was a symbol of her duty and authority, yet it did nothing to prepare her for the horrifying truths hidden beneath the surface of the abandoned family diner, and of her father's actions. In this very rare cosmetic, Vanessa takes the form seen in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. This skin also comes with unique voice lines from Elizabeth Lale. Vanessa's penultimate cosmetic is called the Echo of Loss, a spirit preserved, though not resurrected. This outfit is what Fiona wore in the last precious memories of her husband and son, an image of warmth and stability that was cruelly stolen by fate. Her elegance is now a haunting reminder of the life that William Afton and his partner helped to destroy. In this legendary cosmetic, Vanessa is completely transformed into the resurrected soul of Fiona Murray, the talented and extremely thoughtful late wife of Edwin Murray. This skin also comes with unique voice lines from Fiona Murray's voice actor, but Vanessa's final cosmetic is called Infected Mind. Bound by a digital curse, the security guard's will fractured under the deep weight of an insidious program. This patched-up jumpsuit, once a desperate attempt at disguise, became a second skin for the tormented mind of a killer. Her eyes, glowing with alien malice, now seek only to serve her master's dark command. In this legendary cosmetic, we can see the full effect that the mimic virus has on Vanessa. She still fights for control, but barely wins. This skin also comes with unique voice lines of the echoey, mysterious Vanny. But the last thing I want to show you is my map concept. This map is called the Pizzaplex. The Pizzaplex is set in the same realm as the previous FNaF map, being the Withered Isle. This map would basically be the lobby from Security Breach, but with a custom exterior. The inside of the Pizzaplex would have all the lights turned off, apart from the big TVs and neon lights, giving it a really nice glow and atmosphere. There would also be some great loops in the two side shops, and in each of the wings. But going outside, it would be nighttime with a full moon in the sky. It would also be raining, giving it a great atmosphere, just like the inside. But on the left, there's a wooded area with rocks, trees, and just general debris, making it a great looping area. While on the right, there's a car park illuminated by street lights. Cars and lampposts would also make for really cool loops and in chase. In the middle, we have the Killer Shack, which in this map will be changed to a check-in desk, but would still hold the same purpose of a Killer Shack. From the outside, you'd be able to look upon the giant, foreboding Pizzaplex, its neon lights almost entrancing. In conclusion, I believe that if this chapter got added to Dead by Daylight, it would be one of the best chapters that the game has ever seen. Now that might seem like I'm saying a lot, but with a killer as cool as the Mimic, 2 survivors taken straight from the FNaF movies, and an awesome map, it's definitely got to be up there. Now of course, I don't know how balanced or logistically viable this chapter would be, because I can't physically play it, but honestly, I've put my heart and soul into this concept, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Alright guys, we've reached the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you think of this chapter concept, and while you're down there, it would be much appreciated if you consider subscribing, because it really helps me out. But anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!